Hey guys, I'm in my car. Not that I needed to say that. I am on the way to go pick up my dad and take him to the doctor, and it's kind of a drive, so I thought, hey, why not bring my camera along? Why not drive talking to myself aimlessly rather than sitting in silence or listening to another podcast? So, here we are. My dad has recently had a couple episodes of some of my memory lapses, and this wasn't typically an issue for him, but he did recently, or not recently, but a couple years ago had heart surgery. And what we've noticed is that every year around the same time where his heart surgery took place, he's having some issues with his memory for a couple days, and then it'll, all of a sudden come back to him. It's very odd and rather concerning. So he called me this morning and asked if I could come take him to the doctor. So that's where I'm headed. So we'll go pick up Pops and go get him situated and find out what's going on there. Believing, praying for good reports and for things to work out well. I know there's some other people in the Discord who have been going through some stuff as well, experiencing losses in the family or loss of friends or, health problems and things like that. And, it's heartbreaking to see. It's troublesome. It's something that we all go through, but it doesn't make it any less painful or any less anxiety ridden or fear inducing. And I just hate to see that it's happening. And we're all going to get better. Everything's going to be okay. We're all going to get where we're going. And I like to try to believe that. But, that doesn't mean that I can't take the time to just feel the feelings of just pain and just sadness. Things can just be sad. It's okay. We have the emotion of sadness. We have the emotion of fear. They demand to be felt. Whether we choose to run from them or not, they demand to be felt. So I'm trying to just let myself feel them without ruminating there. You can feel it, and then you're supposed to be able to get back on track or be able to move forward. And my problem is sometimes I can get stuck there. I can get stuck in ruminated thought, or intrusive thinking can come in and just derail me yet again when I'm trying to get back on my feet. And, I worry that there's more of the people out there, because I know there are more people out there than just me that go through those things, and I'm trying to figure out how to get through them. So hopefully I can help others understand how to get through them. Right now, I don't have any good answers. The answers that I have are just mindfulness, meditation, prayer, and I smoke a lot of pot, but I don't recommend that as a coping strategy. It's something that I like to do recreationally and therapeutically, but also understand that this is not going to be the fix for that. I'm not using that to feel better about these things, because that's how dependencies form, and that's how bad habits start. And I don't want to go down any of those paths. Gosh, it's cold. But I've noticed that I've been dealing with a lot of mental struggle and a lot of intrusive thinking and storytelling, and it doesn't bode well for me. It's things that I've realized I've been dealing with for 30 years of my life, which is as long as I've been alive. But I was an anxious little fella too. When I was very, very, very young, it was a lot of fear and anxiety around everything, and I could never settle or find peace. And I've found ways to try to get through that as I've gotten older, and all I've realized is that I'm still very similar to that same little fella way deep in here, and I gotta learn how to heal that. So what I've been doing this past week, I've been on a streak. I missed yesterday, but I've done mindfulness meditation for 5 of the past 8 days, 6 of the past 8 days, and it's been helping. Only 10 minutes of just sitting and putting on a guided mindfulness meditation. It's 10 minutes long, and I go through that and I come away feeling a lot better. I'm trying to help learn how to take control of my thoughts and of my mind and my emotions especially. I've learned that, I am the thermostat of my home. My wife and I are the thermostats of our home for our children. But I've also learned that I am the thermostat of those in my life. It's if I am upset, if I am anxious, if I am fearful, if I am, falling apart, my family notices that in me, and it does have an impact. They kind of follow suit, and I'm learning that I have to be the one to make those conscious decisions to master my thoughts, master my mind, become aware of how I'm feeling and how it's impacting others, and learn how to course correct. It's not easy. It's honestly the most difficult thing I've ever tried to do in my entire life. I'm sitting here making YouTube videos, and I have other things that I like to do that I'm just like not the best at, but I've studied enough to be somewhat okay at them, but never quite enough to feel like I'm good at them, you know, like drums, like magic tricks, and all sorts of just weird, odd little hobbies that I've picked up on, but have just never pursued long enough to be good at. And my most recent one is making these YouTube videos. I've made a crap ton of them, and I keep making them, but I don't know if they're any good. I don't know if they're worth a damn. You know, I'm doing reaction videos, and that doesn't feel like an authentic way to do content. That feels like I'm riding the coattails of people who have actually practiced their craft and gotten good at whatever it is that they're doing. So I sit and I make these videos, and then I come away feeling like a fraud, and then when I feel like a fraud, I'm like, okay, well, my job has kind of got a glass ceiling on it, so I'm going to be able to get where I want to be. And if my YouTube is what it is right now, and I'm not feeling good about making genuine content that I'm coming up with and creating, and I have all these other hobbies that I've never quite put in enough effort to get good with, what am I even freaking doing? And then I start to feel like a failure, and then I start just crumbling in on myself, and nothing is meaningful, and everything is, you know, just a waste. I'm a waste. I don't want to think those things. I don't want to feel those things. I don't want to be that guy. And it's been hard. It's been hard to let go of any of this, because when you get stuck in a mental rut, you know, the best thing you can do is just keep going until you get back out of it. And if I try to force myself out of it, I get even worse, because I'm awful because I'm in a rut, and now why do I have any reason to be in a rut? Why do I have any reason to feel depressed? I have amazing things in my life. I have a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful children, and they're all doing very well, and my YouTube channel, my family, and you know, all these other things that I like to do. I have no reason to be upset. I have no reason to be depressed, but yet here I am, and it can just make my rut feel deeper. And I want to get better, and I'm still struggling to figure out how to do that. I'm working hard though. I've given up soda, give up sugar, or I gave up soda. I'm giving up sugar as much as I can, cutting it out of my diet. I've been exercising every day, practicing mindfulness, drinking a lot of water. You know, getting up at the same time every morning, trying to go to bed around the same time every morning, spending time with my family. You know, praying, all of these things, and sometimes it just feels like it's not doing anything. I'm still just as miserable as I was. And then my wife and I decided to watch a movie, because she loves watching movies, I love watching movies, we love watching movies together. We decided to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know if anybody has seen that. It's really weird, but really, really, really good. I had no idea what I was walking into. I was listening to a podcast where the guys talked about it briefly, and I had no idea what it was about, but I talked to my wife. I said I wanted to watch it, and I hadn't looked it up or anything, and so she said, sure. So we did. It's on HBO Max right now, and man, I did not understand that movie first time through it, because I fell asleep about midway through to the end, which when I talked to my wife, she said, that movie changed my life. I'm thinking about things differently. I'm understanding and processing things differently. I want to change things about me because of this movie. And I'm sitting there like I was actively falling asleep standing up trying to watch that movie, because I'm an old man now and I fall asleep anytime a movie gets put on. So I went back on Sunday afternoon and decided I'm going to watch it again, because if she got something big out of it, I want to understand what there is to be gotten out of it. I'm going to go ahead and rewatch this movie, and I did, and I'm so glad I did, because holy crap, man, that movie will change your entire perspective on life. It's wild how that movie, it's wacky, it's funny, it's action-packed, but it also reframed the entire way that I look at myself and my life and how I'm functioning in society. It's so bananas. It follows this lady named Evelyn, and she has like a laundromat that's failing, getting audited by the IRS, and she ends up getting sucked into this crazy adventure about the multiverse is falling apart, and she can pull like abilities from other versions of herself in the multiverse into her current reality to fight these enemies that she's trying to overcome. And you know, I don't want to give too much away about the movie, but by the time you get to the end of the movie, it really makes you appreciate how small that you are in this giant world where nothing seems to make sense, and helps you understand that even if you feel small and insignificant, you are still important, and the things that you're choosing to do, the way that you're continuing to act and carry yourself and interact with other people is all still very, very, very important. And like I said, I could get deeper into how I feel about these things, but I don't want to spoil it. It's an amazingly good movie. Could not recommend it to anybody enough. Like, I get the movie's probably not going to be for anybody, like everybody. I'm not going to recommend it to my dad, obviously, because he's more of like he likes the war movies and stuff like that. And this is a little bit different. It almost feels like a kung fu movie, but it's not. But it kind of does, and it's obscure and kind of wacky, but outrageously thought-provoking. And I was very high when I watched it, which made it just smack me in the face. I was crying. I came away from it being like, I want to change my life. I want to become a different person than who I am right now. Not in like this big grand way, but just like in the ways that I am carrying myself every single day. Every single day. Like if my life is nothing more than doing laundry and filing taxes, there's a beauty to that. And I want to find that beauty. I want to capture that beauty. And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm working on doing now, is waking up and just, even in those times where I feel that nothing makes sense in my life, where everything could potentially go wrong, here's all the reasons why everything can go wrong, here's why nothing makes sense, like my rapidly moving mind continues to throw these things in front of me like hurdles that I have to jump over. Like, what if this happens? What if this happens to you? What if this thing happens to this person that then impacts you this way? What are you gonna do? I'm realizing that in all those times where nothing feels like it makes sense and I'm just spiraling out of control, there's one thing that I can still choose to do that is a weapon in and of itself to fight back the demons, which is to be kind. Which is to choose kindness, be kind. In the midst of things going crazy, in the midst of things not making sense, which is the time where I like to freak out the most and just collapse in on myself the most, is to choose to be kind in the face of all of that. And I'm learning that, like, yeah, when I'm coming home and I'm feeling terrible about how I'm not a good drummer and I'm failing as a father, as a husband, or as a content creator, as an employee, is how am I going to make any of this stuff happen that I want to make happen so I can afford to keep that roof over the heads of my family? I can't answer all those questions right now, but what I can do is I can be kind. And that's just, it's almost like a spiritual Xanax when I get all frazzled, you know? What should I do? What can I do? What can I do? You can calm down and you can be kind. You can go love your kids. You can go love your wife. You can do these things, and there's an output that happens of just like positive energy that really can just flip things around for anybody and everybody. I don't know. It's just a takeaway that I had from the movie. It's funny. It's a really funny movie, but it's also got really awesome fight scenes, and you're rooting for the main character the whole time, and you know it's really starting to help me kind of stop thinking about all of these different, oh, well, if I just had done this. Oh, if I just had played drums more. Oh, if my old band would have gotten signed. Oh, if... It helps you just kind of stop thinking about all those and just accept the fact that I am right here, right where I am, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and every other event brought me to the point of where I am right now, and that's where I'm meant to be. That's okay. You are okay. I am okay. Right here in this moment where I'm freaking out, you know? Dad's having trouble with his memory. That's scary. That's super scary for me. But I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm going to be there for my father. I'm going to choose kindness, and everything is going to work itself out, because everything else that has happened has led me to this point right here, right now, and that's what's most important. And I'm just going to be thankful about it. Battle back these demons with gratitude. I'm so thankful that I have a beautiful wife. I'm so thankful I have beautiful children, that we live in a beautiful home that's warm when it needs to be warm and cool when it needs to be cool, and give us the shelter that we need. We have food to eat. My dad is still here. He's okay. We're going to take him to the doctor so we can find out what's going on. But for right now, he is still here with me, and I get to be his son, and I'm thankful for that. thankful that I have a car that I get to drive that'll get me there and get him there, and we'll all be safe and sound. I'm thankful for you guys even giving me a moment of your time to want to spend time with me and talk with me and watch my videos, and we can learn about music together, or maybe we get to smoke some pot together. Like, that's such a beautiful, cool thing that even if I feel like a fake, even if I feel like I don't know what I'm doing with any of this, there's still a community here. There's still stuff that's happening here. It's not like I'm putting up video after video and they're getting 0 views. Like, there's people out here who care. And that's beautiful. I don't know what the whole point of this video was for. I just hit the record button and started talking and getting some of my feelings out, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's like a little Dear Diary type video or something, but I've just been feeling a lot of feelings. Some of them very great, most of them very bad. But that's not gonna win. The bad thoughts, the evil side is not gonna win in this. I'm getting better. You're getting better. We're all getting better. Even if it doesn't feel like it, every step that we take forward is us getting better. Because they haven't won enough to keep you from moving forward. I'm gonna pull in here and get some gas. Everything is gonna be okay. Already is okay. Let's get some gas.